A few weeks ago, I had the absolute privilege to interview entrepreneur, gardener, baby doll sheep owner, and super cool fellow farm friend, Natasha McCrary of 1818 Farms in historic Mooresville, Alabama. Located just outside Huntsville, this special place will capture your heart.
Hi, welcome. We are here at 1818 Farms, and I'm with owner and creator, Natasha McCrary, and I'm very excited to see everything, all the flowers, the little sheep, and just talk about what she's doing. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me today. Yeah. I can't wait to share everything with you.
I am so excited to talk flowers and creation of 1818 Farms.
Great to have you.
Let's chat about, how did you come up with the idea? I read a little bit online about your son and his inspiration.
Yeah, and the funny thing is he's now our flower delivery boy. So now he can drive. Well, when we started, he was going to be, he was 8 years old, and we went on a trip in North Carolina, and he fell in love with a South Down baby doll sheep, and all he could talk about was owning the baby doll sheep and renting it for pictures, selling its manure, renting it for nativity scenes. And then I started thinking, you know, this would be a great time to teach our kids about sustainability, and being stewards of the land. And all the kids were going to be back into, you know, starting school. And so we decided at that point what we would do is start a small hobby farm. Little did we know, it's no longer a hobby.
No, it is not. So share with me how the fast growth. 2011.
Yeah, we were on vacation in 2011, and we broke ground 2012 and opened in August of 2012. So it's hard to think it's been that many years, but it's evolved over time. Like when we first started, it was going to be primarily agritourism, and of course this year in COVID, it's zero agritourism. But we transferred over to a lot of educational workshops. I teach a lot of bloom, stroll, and bouquet workshops, and that's something we can still do because it's such a huge growing area here. Social distancing, and we're able to cut individual buckets, and I can kind of space area out and do demos. And then when we first started, we were probably 25% cut flowers, 75% produce, and we're a total flip to 100% flowers now. And it looks very different than when we started. It was more, the fields were then laid out a lot. They weren't laid out like row crops how they are now. It was more for, I mean, it's still beautiful now, I'm not saying that, but it was more for a lot more green space. You know, a lot more green space. We hosted farm to table dinners at that time. Yeah. A lot more produce. And I think in 2017, I started turning the wheels that I really wanted to just do flowers. So, and I started what's called the Seed to Vase initiative that year, of just introducing the beauty of fresh cut flowers into people's homes and into their lives. Still a big part of our farm, central focus is the South Down baby doll sheep, the sheep he fell in love with. So that breed of sheep was almost extinct in the 1990s. They're here somewhere. I think they're taking a nap. They're calling the smiling teddy bears. There were 300 in the United States at that time, and so a big part of a mission of this farm is to preserve that heritage breed. Okay. Yeah, so it's good.
There's only 300 farms?
300 sheep. In the 1990s, there were 300 of those sheep. Now there's several thousand.
Okay.
Like we have a lot of people. I had someone message me today on Instagram, and they said, is this for meat or what is this for? And I said, oh, no. This is not. This is being a very expensive sheep. This is to preserve this breed. They were brought over from England in the 1700s. They're very nice wool and meat sheep. Yeah. In the World War I, Americans tried to crossbreed them to get the bigger sheep with the better, more meat, more wool, and they didn't turn out the way they wanted them to. You know, the conformation wasn't the same. Okay. And so in the 1990s, this gentleman, Robert Mock, just kind of stumbled on this, and he found the last few remaining flocks around the United States, and he started the Old English baby doll sheep registry. Okay. And so from then, even now, like you go back into my pedigree, we go back 5 generations. It's still some of those old farms where it started
Well, I had
from.
read this is 6th generation that's living here.
Yeah, 6th generation.
Right now. That's awesome.
So it's fun. It's a lot of fun. At that point, we had about 200 lavender plants. We grew a lot of lavender. And I took that and started making a bath, like a soap. And then I did a goat's milk bath tea soak, and then I did some cuticle. A lot of it was for problems that I had of working. I'm sure as you garden, you have a lot of dry, cracked nails, your back hurts from bending. Sure. So this year, one thing we're trying to focus on at the farm is season extension. A lot of people feel like, okay, you plant in April and you're done in August. And you can kind of see in this field, we're not even close to being finished. So a lot of times people feel like when you're farming or you're gardening, your season is over in September, August, September. And you can see here, we're probably 5 weeks out of peak season. So things are going down.
Okay.
But we're still, like tomorrow, we're going to put our last succession planting of zinnias to get us through through frost. But one thing we do is we're not only harvesting for home delivery every day, we're harvesting for everlasting bouquets, dried flowers. So a huge piece of our business model we started last year was drying flowers. You have to harvest them at peak season. Like a lot of people think, I cut them, put them in the vase, I'll leave them there a few days, then I dry them. If you want the most vibrant colors, you're going to harvest now. So we'll use those flowers in dried wreaths. We have some beautiful crosses that have adorned with the dried flowers. We do wedding confetti. We have dried bouquets that we sell, and then we'll implement a lot of them in our wreath making class. But this row especially is important. It's celosia, and a lot of people called it, their grandma called it like coxcomb or whatnot, but we've cut a lot of this, you'll see. And a lot of people look at it and go, why would you want the red? Well, typically we would use them in 4th of July bouquets. This year, of course, they weren't ready by 4th of July. Everything was farther behind, but that's okay. We've cut them to dry. When you dry them, they go to a beautiful burgundy.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's a color shift.
Yeah.
So this is more of a tan, the yellow.
But I bet that's nice for Christmas design.
Very nice. And then it's also great if you're doing, let's say you're using the flamingo feather and you're trying to read off of a raspberry sorbet.
Yeah.
You pull that color into with whites and pinks.
Okay.
So it's all very much in design work.
Yeah.
But we'll kind of show that. But a season extension, you know, for us, we pull we'll pull the front section out mid-October. It'll go all our cool weather crops. It'll be like delphinium, larkspur, ranunculus, anemones, sweet william, rudbeckias. They'll be tunneled, and then you kind of baby those through March. Like in the back, we saw a really dead section back here. You're probably like, that flower garden is dead. That is our bachelor buttons, and so we're saving them for seeds.
Yeah, okay.
Because we had a killer crop this year. The seed, I think, had almost 100% germination. We were cutting about 700 stems every 2 days.
Wow.
So that's going to be our, we had received our seed certification through the state of Alabama to sell this year. And so Purple Hyacinth was our first one. We're doing that one, and then we're going to offer Pretty Bright Lights Cosmos as a pollinator. And we have a few others we're saving. We just started very much on baby steps.
So people can order the seeds online?
Yes, yes. So the bachelor buttons online, because what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of the things in our zone, these beautiful flowers that you see, the snapdragons, the larkspur, people say, I can't plant them. I plant them and they die. Well, they need to overwinter, and they love the cold, and you have a beautiful crop for Easter, Mother's Day, early spring, but you have to get them in October. So we need these bachelor buttons ready to go on the website to sell.
Yeah.
For people that really in zone probably 6, 7, 8, you need to put those in the fall.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get that. It's just it's tedious.
So they have the winter to
grow and get their roots established.
Yeah.
And then what happens is they start petering out once we hit early June. The mistake a lot of home gardeners make here is they try and plant these seeds at the wrong time.
Yeah.
A lot of seed companies don't recognize what we have, the mild winters here.
Yeah.
So that's kind of season extension's a big thing.
Cool.
Get in here.
I love that. Go, Natasha.
We cannot have weeds in here. This is not acceptable at 1818. Sold in our seed business was the purple hyacinth. Okay. And you can see it looks like a lot like an orchid when it blooms.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to be a great cut. I mean, I might cut 12 and put it in a vase if I'm having people over for dinner. But it falls a lot. But wedding designers love this pretty purple bean.
Okay.
Especially in the fall. But see, this is really barely blooming. Like, it will really take off the 1st of September. When everything else is kind of getting tired in the garden, it just explodes.
Oh, okay.
But I really like this a lot. And when you're first going to start your seed business, I think it's something that's very simple to explain.
It's kind of got an ivy feel too.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And we cut a lot, just these whimsies and bouquets, and then we'll pop these in some bouquets. We just let them know at the workshops that it's not going to last in the vase. We like things that last 7 days in a vase, but this is just for the dry and the contrast part of it.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's probably, and I think probably if you had to say what was my favorite flower, it depends on the season. Lisianthus, without a doubt. If we're in peak, I mean, we're not in peak anymore. It's the toughest flower we grow here. It lasts easily 14 days in the vase. It looks so dainty and delicate. And then in the winter, spring, I really like the anemones. I like things that are tough. Beautiful, but tough. They kind of make you think this is going to be, it's not going to hold, but it holds and is just a workhorse. So like what we're talking about, the new and unusual, this amaranthus was kind of something I ordered on this fluke. Now it looks really large right now. However, I had a wedding designer who used in a huge arch and with pampas grass.
Okay.
And it looked fabulous. I mean, it looks so good. But we'll be cutting these giant heads tomorrow like this. She used something like this. And it was, you know, kind of a focal point. One thing about amaranthus is it's like the salad bar. I kind of call it a trap crop because you want the pest to go to something that's not your other crops, and it kind of it doesn't hurt this flower, but they love the leaves. But we strip everything in the field. You never hydrate leaves, so all that's pre-stripped in the field. But we'll go into some Christmas wreaths, like swags. So
Yeah.
We'll dry that. And one of the things, another avenue here is we do allow photo shoots. We have a lot of people who are doing their senior photos or engagement, or a lot of people do the pregnancy photos now.
big events.
The big events. And we have family photos. And it's a private use of the farm. We charge $100 an hour.
Okay.
You bring your photographer, and we're here. You can do the animals, the flowers. You can use the flower truck. I think we had somebody here this weekend. You kind of did a little bit of everything last Sunday. But it is, if you're looking for an unusual backdrop, and we have pretty much every color here. People say, I love pink. Is there anything pink in your field? And I'm like, yes, I've got you a pink.
Next, Natasha taught me a little bit on how to dry flowers and shared a few of her upcoming creative projects, and I loved hearing her passion and inspiration.
So these were cut, the bright red, last Thursday, I think, and how they've shifted to the beautiful burgundy. And if you look above you, like these were cut yesterday. I was just cleaning the aisle when we were doing the zinnias.
Okay.
So see how they're going to shift color? Really beautiful. And this would be more like with the yellow, which is very nice too if you don't want something that's really bright. Everything shifts colors. Like if you kind of see the gomphrena is a deeper, more vibrant purple. The ageratum's super nice. So we're always, cutting. A lot of these will be sold straight bundles. Some will be used. We'll build bouquets after, and then like today, because we cut so many zinnias yesterday, we cut 18 buckets. We were just gonna make our own bouquets and let them dry. These are really great on wreaths. They're great just in fall arrangements. And you can see all this is the seed head on there.
Yeah, and the accent color.
I want to make sure next year that I save more of this darker. Like I love these. I just did not. Most of it was more of the beige. It just depends on what your seed was.
It's
very
really
nice
pretty.
and for fall.
And it doubles as a broom.
It doubles as a broom. I just have to learn how to make a broom. It would probably. I wonder how many days it would take to make a broom. Yeah. So anyway, so that's a nice. We always want to add something unusual every year. So one of the things we're doing with the dried is we use the dehydrator usually for this, or sometimes we dry and pull off the petals. You can do it better with the dehydrator. Is flower confetti that you could have for your wedding to toss, and there's different colors. We save it by colors, but my favorite is I was telling you about the bachelor buttons we grew.
Oh yes,
outstanding.
I love that color too. It's so intense, yeah.
But look how beautiful it dries.
Yeah.
Like, that would be great as your something blue, and you could even mix. Like we have different colors we can mix.
Yeah.
We love the petals that came off of our rocket snapdragons, like even a mixture of flowers.
Yeah.
So that's something that's coming from we have a section on the website called From the Farm.
Okay.
And so like the suet feeder, the wool-filled suet feeders there, anything dried flowers will be going there. There's a backyard lovers gift box.
Okay.
The seeds are there. So we're trying to really grow that section. It's just the slowest to grow.
Yeah.
Because it takes a while to grow the flowers and harvest them and dry them and do many things.
As a daughter of a master gardener and granddaughter of a farmer, I found myself in such a happy place. It was time to check out the farm and see the little sheep. I was so excited.
Our dads are all up here. They're kind of, we won't put them together. We don't breed until the 1st of November, so they're up there. That's Kane is our old guy, and then Thor, and then Elvis. Here comes Justice.
Hey, Justice.
And that's Albert. He loves food. Okay, all he can think about. It's after Fat Albert. Imagine that.
Yes.
It's after Fat Albert, but he loves his food, so he knows that it's getting close to supper time.
Oh, and I see Mr. Pig down there.
Oh yeah.
And what's the pig's name?
That's Clover, and then Mr. Riggs is somewhere around here. But baby girl's way back there in the back. I mean, she looks like a really big teddy bear. See her right there, the little bitty one?
Well, and you can read all about Baby Girl on the website.
Oh yeah, Baby Girl has her, and she has her own email. It's babygirl@1818farms.com, and we love when people send her an email and we reply back as Baby Girl.
Oh,
Everyone at the office is like,
yay.
hey, can I be Baby Girl? Because the children will send her emails, and it's so cute. And it was really nice. We did the Adventures of Baby Girl contest, and a teacher came that did a bloom stroll workshop. She said one of her students who entered one. It was just so exciting. So it was neat when we got to read all that. Look at Farrah. She's going to be the first one in.
Even little chicken hairs. I'm coming in.
Come on. Come on, Daddy. Come on.
Hey! Hey.
Yeah, but here's Baby Girl right here.
Hey.
She looks very teddy bear.
Oh, yeah.
And they all look dirty. They look like they just kind of roll.
I love this. They're all so curious about me.
Oh yeah, they think you might have a snack.
Oh, that might be.
But yeah.
Oh,
This is
so
hard on them. Even though they're sheared April, I mean, you know.
Oh, they've got to be.
Yeah. And this is the oldest. This is Buttercup. So she was, she's 9 now.
Oh, wow.
Static. You sound like you have indigestion. I know. But yeah, Static's 9. So we have some that are getting a lot older. It's sad, as they get
Yeah.
older. So
They're so beautiful, though. I love the color.
They need to be cleaned up. And Static loves to be scratched. But yeah.
Natasha, thank you so much for having me here today and for walking me through the gardens and learning about horticulture and petting all the baby lambs.
Especially Static. He loved to be petted.
Yes. So how can people find out more about 18 Farms?
Okay, so if you want to find out about us, you can go to our website at 1818farms.com, and that'll have all of our events, workshops, our products. You can shop our product line there, our blogs. I try to do a lot of blogs, but it seems like a lot of times I never get to it. So I'm just going to try and do better this year for y'all. Then also, to really see the day-to-day activity, if you could go to Instagram, it's just 1818 Farms, or Facebook, and that's where we're going to be posting. I never know what I'm going to post. It's kind of as it occurs, because that's what I think makes it interesting. So those are great places to follow us. And also, we have a YouTube channel that we're trying to work on a little bit, so follow us there. We're going to try and put a lot more how-to videos. I know tonight we released our first how to successfully harvest zinnias in your home garden, so look for that. So probably what we're known for, our best-selling products, it's called a shea cream, and it's just shea butter, coconut oil, and either there's an unscented version if you're sensitive to smells, or there's going to be an essential oil or a fragrance. And it's great if you have dry hands, feet, or body. And what's I especially like about it is it takes just a tiny dab. On the directions on the side of the jar, it says apply a pea size, which is appropriate for farm to say that. And so a tiny jar that you feel so light goes a long way for hydrating your skin.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, and I hope that you can come back. One of our most popular days, and we hope by March we can do it, is our annual sheep shearing day. Another way to really not miss out any events, I almost forgot this, Wendy, is to go to our website and you can sign up for our email list. You are not going to receive many emails from me, I promise. If there's an online sale, or it might be a blog about the flower garden, if something has happened, or the big one is the end of February, we usually send out a major email to our email list first before it goes public. And you get to learn about all the open farm days, the sheep shearing day, the workshops, but especially those, the tickets really, they're like for the open farm day and the sheep shearing day, the tickets are free, but we have to limit the number of people because of parking. So you want to be the first people to know so you get a spot. So definitely sign up for the email list. And like I said, I promise you're not going to receive many emails from me. And that's the way to be in the know.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us here for Talking Travel with Wendy. We'll see you soon. Hi, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I have much more content on my website, travelwithwendy.net, and you can also support this channel by becoming a Patreon patron. The links are below. Remember, it's always an adventure when you travel with Wendy.